Do you think this man had this woman search for prostitutes online just for them to have with her?
Hold up, y'all. Did Usher just drop some major bombshells about Diddy that have everyone shook? From wild freak-off parties to disturbing allegations of manipulation, it seems like there's a whole side to this story that nobody wanted to talk about until now. And trust me, this one's got more twists and turns than you'd ever expect. So buckle up, because we're diving deep into the scandal that's shaking the industry to its core. So here's the tea. For years, there have been whispers about Diddy's wild lifestyle and his so-called mentorship of Usher when the star was just a teenager. But if you thought you knew the whole story, think again. Usher recently opened up about what really went down back in the day, and it turns out it's way darker than anyone ever thought. And with Diddy facing over 100 lawsuits, including some seriously disturbing accusations, it seems like Usher's experience may have just been the tip of the iceberg. Okay, let's rewind to where it all began, Flavor Camp. Now, if you haven't heard about it, Flavor Camp was supposedly this elite boot camp for young artists to learn the ropes of the industry. Sounds cool, right? But here's the catch. It turns out it might have been less about mentorship and more about exposing teens to a very grown-up lifestyle they had no business being a part of. Usher, who was just 13 when he was sent to stay with Diddy, described what he saw there as wild. And when asked if anything inappropriate happened, he didn't exactly deny it. Instead, he said there were curious things taking place that he didn't understand at the time. Excuse me? What was Diddy thinking, putting a young kid in that kind of environment? And where were Usher's parents when all this was going down? Speaking of questionable decisions, let's talk about the infamous freak-off parties Diddy used to throw. Word on the street is that these weren't your typical Hollywood parties. We're talking next-level wild. Usher was reportedly a frequent guest at these events, and according to some insiders, he left with more than just memories, if you catch my drift. Now, here's where it gets messy. Back in the day, Usher was involved in a pretty major scandal involving some allegations. Now, here's where it gets messy. Back in the day, Usher was involved in a pretty major scandal involving some allegations about an STD, and fans started to connect the dots, wondering if Diddy could have had something to do with it. With Usher hinting that he was exposed to things no kid should see, people couldn't help but speculate about what actually went down at those parties, and whether there was more to the story than anyone was letting on. Then there's Kim Porter, Diddy's ex and the mother of 3 of his children. Before she passed away in 2018, there were rumors swirling that she was working on a tell-all book that would expose Diddy's darkest secrets, not just about Usher, but also about his entire lifestyle and business dealings. Conveniently, right before her death, some of Kim's personal items, including laptops, went missing. Coincidence? I think not. Insiders claim those laptops contained documents, photos, and videos that could have blown the lid off everything. And with industry insiders like Jaguar Wright questioning Kim's sudden passing, you gotta wonder if there's more to the story that's still being covered up.
Died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she...
If you thought it couldn't get worse, just wait. Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, has been spilling some serious tea, and what he's saying is straight up disturbing. According to Gene, Diddy wasn't just mentoring Usher, he was exposing him to a lifestyle that no kid should ever experience. And there were even claims that whatever went down left Usher in need of medical attention. Yeah, you heard that right. Gene even alleged that there was an incident at a hotel where Usher might have been exposed to unsanitary activities, and it didn't stop there. He hinted that Diddy's influence over Usher was more than just business, suggesting that there was a reason Usher's been so quiet about his time with Diddy all these years. Now let's fast forward a bit. Recently, fans noticed that Usher went on a Twitter cleanup spree, deleting a bunch of old tweets that mentioned Diddy. Coincidence? Or was he trying to distance himself from his past? Usher later claimed he was hacked, but let's be real, nobody's buying it. What's even weirder is that Usher's body language seems off whenever Diddy's name comes up. Like that time Diddy casually mentioned waking up next to Usher during an interview. You could practically see the discomfort on Usher's face. It's like he's trying to bury the past, but the rumors just keep coming back to haunt him. And here's the kicker. Diddy's now facing over 100 lawsuits, with at least 25 of them involving allegations from people who were minors at the time. Some of these lawsuits include seriously dark accusations, like a 9-year-old boy being harmed so badly that he needed to go to the hospital. It's almost like every time we think the story can't get any worse, it does. People are now piecing together old interviews, deleted tweets, and cryptic statements to form a clearer picture of Diddy's influence over young artists like like Usher. And with Usher's own silence speaking volumes, you have to wonder, was he a victim of something way bigger than we ever imagined? It seems like Usher's been trying to move on from his past with Diddy for years, but no matter how hard he tries, it just keeps coming back. Whether it's cryptic social media moves, uncomfortable interview moments, or resurfacing allegations, it's like Usher can't escape his connection to Diddy. And honestly, can you blame him for wanting to leave it all behind? But with everything coming out, fans are now questioning whether Usher stayed silent to protect himself or to keep others safe. Was he trying to shield the younger artists who came after him, like Justin Bieber, from experiencing the same fate? It's no secret that Bieber struggled with the pressures of fame, and Diddy was definitely lurking in the background, eyeing him as the next big thing. Naturally, social media has been buzzing nonstop as people dig deeper into this ongoing saga. The hashtag number Diddy and Usher has been trending, with fans speculating on whether there's even more to the story that hasn't come out yet. Some are blaming Usher's and Bieber's parents for allowing them to be exposed to such a questionable environment, while others are pointing fingers directly at Diddy, accusing him of taking advantage of his influence. Regardless of where you stand, it's clear that the conversation around Diddy's legacy is changing. What once seemed like just another celebrity scandal is now being re-examined in the light of serious allegations that could have far-reaching implications for the music industry as a whole. So, where does that leave us? Well, at this point, it seems like Usher's past with Diddy is a story that's far from over. As more information comes to light and more people start speaking out, we're likely to hear even more disturbing details about what really went down. And the big question is, will Usher ever come forward with the full story, or will he continue to let the rumors and allegations speak for themselves? One thing's for sure, this isn't the last we've heard of the Diddy and Usher saga. So stay tuned because there's a whole lot more tea about to be spilled.